Here at BMW, we're always following the government guidelines to protect you, the guest, and also our staff. The BMW driving experience events will feel a little bit different to before, but the changes we've introduced are intended to be both practical and convenient for our guests, whilst providing reassurance that we're doing everything we can to keep you safe. In order to minimise guest contact, we've come up with a virtual driver briefing. So you can just turn up, enjoy all of the BMW M cars and have a great day. Please sit back and enjoy. I'm sure we all drive regularly on the road and we have a nice, comfortable driving position. That is slightly different when we drive on track. First of all, driving a car on track, you have to ensure you have comfort, safety and control. Remember, on track, you'll need to brake harder than on the road, so make sure there is a sufficient bend in your leg at 100% brake pressure. Make sure to put the backrest in a position to enable you to put your hands at 9 and 3 with a 90-degree bend in the arms, so you can go through hairpin corners and fast sweeping bends alike. Safety is paramount, like we've just said, and once we're on track, we'll be travelling at high speed, so please make sure it's correctly fastened, because when you hit the brakes, the last thing you need is movement. There might be some of you who are not familiar with BMW road cars, and all you need to remember is put your foot on the brake, press the start button, pull it into drive, and have some fun. As a racing driver, it's a requirement to learn new circuits. How do we do this? Well, it's a percentage game. Take 70%, for example, when you start, and then at the end of the session, you should be up to 100%, and that should be your fastest time of the session. Look for your braking zones and your reference points. Don't go too fast too soon, because it will become a blur. Each activity will have its own fantastic briefing, but you may hear some weird things like optimal line and racing line. Here is what they mean. Let's start with the shortest way round the circuit. The short line is not the fastest, it's the shortest line away around the circuit. Now let's have a look at the longest line around the circuit. All the way around the outside of the corner is what you'll see on the TV watching race cars in the wet. That's where the most grip is in those conditions. What we're looking for is the perfect racing line, and that combines the shortest line with the highest speed line. From the outside, you will drive to the apex and then exit out of the corner and down the next straight. So what is the correct technique to get the right racing line on a circuit? As the car approaches the red zone, it's the braking zone, so get your braking done. At the turn-in point, you will then turn the car into the apex. And from the apex, you will then look for the turn-out point. In the green zone, it's time to get going on the power. There are two things that can happen on track that unsettle the car. One is understeer and the other is oversteer. Understeer is when the front tyres lose grip, and for the amount of steering that you put into the car, it doesn't really work and the car tries to go to the outside of the corner. How to rectify this? Ease off the throttle and let the tyres rotate into the tarmac and gain back traction. Oversteer, on the other hand, is something absolutely fantastic, and that is when the rear of the car slides, and how to combat that is to come out of the throttle nice and gently and apply opposite lock on the steering. Please only do this when you're on the handling track, because you will look like a total legend. As in racing, marshals will communicate with you on track using either flags or coloured lights. Yellow, danger, slow, no overtaking. I think of a wasp as it's quite a dangerous thing. Blue, you are being overtaken, slow down. Have a look in your mirrors and just see if there is anybody behind you to overtake. Please stay on your line and the overtaking car will do its best to get round you. Red, session has been stopped. Return safely to the pits, and I think of this one as a full course yellow. Please look ahead so there is no more danger ahead of you. Black, return to the pits. This is isolated to you or your car. It could be the fact that you've overtaken on the wrong side, or you're driving in a manner that is irresponsible. Or it could be your car has damage or something hanging off that you can't see. Checkered flag, it's the end of the session. Please return to the pits in a safe manner. The British weather can be a bit of a problem. So if it rains in your session, don't panic. Just use the inputs of the throttle and the brake and the steering input just a bit more sensitively and you'll be right. Given the current situation, there will be additional safety requirements. 1 will be to wear a face mask at all times, 2 will be to use hand sanitising stations wherever possible, and 3, if you feel unwell, please, please, please stay at home. If there's one piece of advice I'd give to anybody turning up for today's event, it would be to listen to your BMW coaches. They are the best in the world. They're not here to hinder you, they're here to help you. So please listen and have a great day.